my core guys? Well, first, you have to be the person someone would follow. So if you're not, don't expect people to follow you. And that takes a lot of self-worth or self-work, and just setting clear expectations for yourself, holding yourself accountable, being the best version of yourself. But then knowing your weaknesses is a really big deal. Like when you're 20 years old, it's a lot tougher because you don't necessarily always know your strengths and weaknesses. But like if you're good in sales and you're not that great at all the details and all that stuff, you're going to need a production guy. Like you're going to need one really bad. And so if you're good at thinking the big picture and you don't like the details, then you're probably a visionary. There's like 9,372,000,000,000,000 visionaries in the world, and there's like 5 integrators, and you're going to need one of those, somebody that holds you down to earth and like says, hey, we got to actually execute. I would highly recommend that you take that test, like the Visionary Integrator Score with EOS. That way you can start, assessing yourself and knowing like your was it yin and yang, like the opposites to you. Because you don't always just hire people that are like you. You want to hire people that complement your weaknesses, and they cover them, My dad taught me, you stay with your strengths, stay away from your weaknesses. But what he really meant to say was like hire for your weaknesses, and most entrepreneurs will tell you that. So there's only 2 types of roofing business owner. There is a sales-minded one and then a production-minded one. So if you're sales-minded one, usually you think like customer experience, marketing, how do we convert at a high level. They're more focused with brand and stuff. If you're a production-minded owner, then you are obsessed with the details and the process, and like, no one can do a roof better than us, and those sales guys are just highly paid order takers and all that. And so once you understand kind of which way you lean, then you have to, like if you're a production-minded owner, you have to hire a phenomenal sales manager that you trust, that can go and build a customer service and customer experience for your business. And if you're a sales-minded owner, you probably will do very well in sales as well as marketing and probably branding, but you'll have way too many leads, so you need to hire a good production staff that can manage the backlog of what you create on the sales side. So, long story short, if you, when you're hiring people, man, a lot of it's trial and error at first, and then through wisdom and experience, you understand that you don't always want to hire yes men. You want to hire people that don't necessarily challenge you, but when they do it respectfully. But then understand that usually the people you hire are a lot smarter than you, especially if you're 20 years old. If you're 20 years old, everybody's smarter than you. So take life experience with a grain of salt, but then understand where you want to take the business and always be researching. So if you want to build a big roofing company, there's somebody that already did it. You need to talk to them. Like you need to find those people, and then you need to ask the right questions. So I gauge people by the level of the questions that they ask me. And when I was coming up, all the business owners I talked to, they did the same thing to me. So you want to ask them very specific questions and then get specific answers. Don't ask broad things like, what's the best lead source? Like that's like the dumbest thing ever. So that's kind of my 2 cents is always be hungry, always be learning, always be introspective in the sense that you know your strengths and weaknesses. Hire accordingly to cover those, and then just understand that you're rarely, if ever, the smartest person in any room, even with your employees. You need to pull off of their wisdom and discernment.